even, so it's going to be quite interesting. Here we have a pretty strong lead on NC. If the match finish early, I can try and get the end of the other matches. We can see VS captured points right at the end. That's a pretty good move from VS. It's really weird to see. Not really seeing that before. I haven't watched that. Like only holding one base and then getting in the middle and not focusing here. So they just recaptured that one, of course, when I was talking. But it's also interesting to see that they're going to be backcapped here. So I'm not sure how that worked, but it's not. I'm not sure you can get points from those bases if this one is captured. However, VS has been quite quick to recapture the base. We can see a Prowler getting the advantage here, but oh, and we've seen some. No, it's not Fuziagi. My bad. So let's see look at the B point.
Ton stream a planté, Moti.
Ah putain. Okay, it should be back on. Okay, it should be, yeah, it should be back on. I'm sorry. Hey, Pronam, nice to see you. I'm sorry if my stream's crashing. I have no idea what's causing that, and I cannot have. Like, I would like to look at the chat, so I'm looking on the PSB on the PSB channel and not on the Streamlabs thing. So it's quite annoying. I'm going to cut the stream though. Alright, so let's look at the map. What have I missed? So NC is pushing the edge base, it's interesting. TR is pushing the I1. So if we look at the point advantage, I think VS should be getting a few more points here. And they are indeed catching up slowly with the NC, but NC still have 3 bases, so they're also going up quite fast. We're already close to the half point on the score, so it's going really fast. TR is really struggling. It's going to be depending of if they can capture this base and if they can maybe harass and get under the base. Like you need 4 or 5 bases to get a really strong. Yes, stream is back. I have seen it. I'm really sorry about crushing. I have no idea what's causing that. The other bases are not being concentrated. What's important to look at in the population is where is NC right now? NC is apparently focusing on the edge base. There is no NC anywhere else except here, maybe in the desert, but NC is focusing on VS right now. So VS cannot, if they want to win that fight against NC, they pretty much have to put the same amount of population. NC has a strong, oh wait, no, that's Mosquito, that's not River. And the point is pretty much in NC and VCO is doing a pretty good job on holding that base, but they put the numbers in. They are pretty weak in other bases. If VS could also harass those 2 bases, and if NC TR start focusing on the NC right now, NC is going to get outpopped everywhere else, which is not good. Right now, we're not seeing any much thing. Like TR is pushing that base, but it's a 112 with only TR, so it's probably not a lot of people. And VS has a lot of people between those bases, so they're trying probably to catch up and bring vehicles. I'm not sure if that's a right thing. Like they should be. I hope in a Galaxy, ready to drop in, but I think NC is going to have it. I'm sorry if I'm not really looking at the fights outside. We can see the TR's Prowlers here doing a pretty good job at facing whatever Mag Rider here and another here, like a few vehicles. VS is pushing vehicle, but I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. I think TR is almost protecting that VS base because VS cannot push because of the Prowlers. However, VS is also pushing that base now, and that's pretty good. Let's see how many people are actually on point. There is infantry on point. Okay, that's pretty good. They're going to hold it pretty well. NC has a beacon on the roof, and they are going to try and counter push right now. The VS has lost a few people on the balcony. They are not going to be able to hold that base for very long if they keep losing picking people. However, holding the roof if you do not have the air advantage is potentially pretty bad. If that scythe has an anti-ground weapon, especially anti-infantry, it's not going to go well for those people. What is it trying to do? Okay, it doesn't have weapons, I guess, to kill infantry. NC is pushing pretty well their anti-population again. At least 2 squads on that point, and they still are getting outpopped. And they might lose their E points. Let's look at the score quickly. I think VCO is is still pretty much in the lead. The score is pretty much going to stay stable right now because the amount of bases for each faction is quite even, except for VS who lost one and NC who captured one. So it's going to start to rank up again for NC. The migrators are not trying to support. If the migrators can get a good hold on the NC and get a good angle, it's going to go pretty badly. Oh, I haven't seen that Sandy. I'm doing a pretty bad job. That's sad, Kyomo. That fight for the balcony, who's going to win it? I think VCO. Yeah, VCO is doing a pretty good job of holding in. I don't know why they are not destroying the Sandy right now, but that should be their priority because there is no spawns on those bases. You cannot spawn and respawn on the base because you have a spawn point. That doesn't exist. There is no spawn room. You have to bring your own spawns. Killing the Sandys should be their priority. I think Vanu has managed to secure it, and TR is back. Is attacking NC in the back. So that batch is lost anyway. He's going to be back capped and cut off from the NC territory. NC is going to have only one base, so that's going to affect their territory quite a lot. You see all those points they collected? Now it's going to be really, really slower. So TR is going to have 5 bases, so they are going to bring back a score. So as I said, it's a 1v1 system, like a 1v1v1 system. They are not going to be able to hold, if you get too many bases. That's the first time I'm seeing a capture territory base. NC might, no, they're probably not going to get it, so not enough people, but it's quite interesting to see that NC was in lead and my living room is perfectly fine. It's not my bedroom. What I'm going to want to see is VS going to try and back up this one. I don't think there's too many TR on that point. Is NC going to be able to capture that Swapgate base? That's really important. We can see a lot of rivers. Oh, that Valkyrie was holding at least 2 people and probably more. That's bad. That's pretty bad. NC doesn't seem to have a strong hold on the point. There's like maybe a squad. They need to kill those people really fast because the moment they put a beacon on, they are going to be able to bring at least a squad and maybe more. Why is there VS capturing the point when NC... Where's NC? Oh, NC was inside the building. So you see people are getting inside the building to get protected, but they are quite slow at capturing recapturing the point. VS and NC... Now NC is bringing more people with Valkyrie. We still have the rivers. We have Galaxy. See, the air control is really, really strong. You can deny transportation. It's going to be really tough to bring more people. The score to win is 500. So that means we're already halfway through. At least if NC wins. But right now, they are not going to score a lot of points. This is even capturing Relic F. Oh boy. That means that even if NC captures it, it's going to be cut off if they don't defend the next base. That's really interesting. That VS dude is dead, I hope. So yep, 1 second too late, poor boy. Vermin, Venomous Vermin, you're too late for like a few seconds, and you're mostly going to get killed anyway. So that's sad, the VS. So NC is back on the game. They might lose that one. We have to check what's going on there. It's quite confusing. There's a lot of things going on. I wish I could show more interesting gameplay. However, especially the air game. The air game is going pretty strongly in favor of NC. And they are wrecking everything else going their way. I think it's helping them a lot to destroy Valkyries and Galaxies. Look at the map right now. They managed to capture a base by killing the Sandys, the Galaxy and the Valkyries, despite it being very close to the VS Swapgate. TR is capturing the VS. So you see, VS got a few bases, and then boom, TR is capturing all of them. TR should be getting a lot of points. They should be. You look, there is a lot more closer than at the start. Like remember, NC had like 100 points and TR only like 30. That's almost close, and it's almost equal. That's a really close fight. It's quite interesting to see that. NC has recaptured the point. I think it was almost 5 seconds close. I'm sorry, I was looking at the map. I shouldn't have done that. TR is capturing the VS base, who is now cut off after the H base was captured. They did not manage to capture the Rick E. However, TR is in a pretty strong position. NC is going to have to resecure the F base. They are mostly going to lose the A base unless they pull out pretty good defense with Rivers. To want to recapture the A base, they have infantry here. They have a few RSs with yep, the new Hellbird thing. I have no idea what this is. I've not played the game a lot recently. There's a few Mag Raiders. I'm not sure if that's worth it. Like, I'm not sure if you want Mag Raiders right now. You might want to have AA Sandies, or you might want to have people in the points, but I'm not sure that you want Mag Raiders. They don't seem to get a strong advantage to capture bases. Hope the streaming is going well. I'm seeing a lot of messages right now, but NC is redefending F point. They are they're holding the A point, but that's quite hard. NC is also capturing the I point, so NC is going pretty strong again. Like they're back on their feet. They are not going to lose that base anytime soon, unless VS decide to. Oh, and VS lost the B point too, so now they have to. VS has a lot to do right now. It's pretty strong. It's maybe not enough people for the ground, but that's going to be hard. VS is recapturing slowly. It's using a lot of the population to hold to recapture the B point. Meanwhile, TR is holding a lot of points. TR is getting second, and they most likely are going to get first if NC doesn't recapture a base soon, because 5 base go to 3 is still going to go in favor of TR, slowly but surely. It's going to be really, really close unless some outfit like TR manage to hold those points forever. The G point is not being recaptured for some reason, and no one is looking at it. The I base is going to get captured by NC, which is going to even the scoreboard and keep NC on the top of it. Oh, we have last minute drops. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Oh, more people on the point, but the point is not flipping. NC captures it despite. Wait, no, VS. NC has a lot of people on the balcony. I don't think I would have been able to hold it very long anyway. So that's good. We have seen the first orbital strike on outside the bases in the wild. I'm not sure if that's really good. TR has abandoned the defense of the B point. They really tried to defend the I one. So TR is going to go from 5 bases to 3, which is bad. VS is getting pretty badly. I'm surprised nobody has started the cap here. Like, you can just put a guy in a Valkyrie here, they can capture the point and wait for it. Only drop a squad at the last moment. VS has not managed to put anyone on the points for quite some time here. We are not. That's not the right base. I'm stupid. Despite having a base and vehicles around it, you see the vehicles are not getting on the point. I don't think that's a good idea to have vehicles. Quite a waste of nanites and quite a waste of time and human resources. NC it's quite tough between NC and TR. TR seems to manage a good. They're like NC clearly is dominating. They have a really good air squad, and I think that's what is making them dominate them. However, TR is doing a good job at attacking NC when they are not where they are not. And once you get a squad on a point and you get a few spawns, way few respawns, you can capture some territory here. If they manage to take the E points, it's going to go quite well for them. I'm going to watch. Yeah, well, I guess they got wiped out there. But let's have a look at this. Anyway, what was happening? So TR is back on the point. Okay, that's nice. We have the NC air going back on here. It's a tough fight. We can see people around here. TR is not staying much on the balcony. They're staying on the ground because they need to recapture the base. NC is trying to, Valkyrie drop in the middle. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. We have a few people who are smart and trying to get outside. The beacon is done, which is bad for TR. The NC has their beacon, and the TR seems to be wiped, except our few people. So I don't think that's going to go great for TR anytime soon. However, they're also attacking the I base while they are losing the H one. So, yep. The things are going a bit back to normal. VS is recapturing their base. NC is defending their base too. The H points is might be cut off, but it still allows the VS to attack the F point, so that's really nice. Once like nobody captured that base, there was no one on it. I don't know what happened here. So the H points is going to go for TR, I think. Wait, not sure if I'm. Wait, it was recaptured by NC at the last moment. Oh, it's a close fight. It's a close fight. Look at it. Yep, 2 people alive on the NC to secure that on VS to recapture it. So pretty good hold. The NC are safe pretty much here. They are being attacked though. That's not the situation you want to be in. Let's look at the score. It's going quite fast. Look at VS. NC. NC is already 110 points away from from winning, and they are only 90 points ahead of TR, who is attacking one of the bases. Like NC right now only has 3 bases. TR sadly doesn't only have 2, which is bad, and VS has 4. So it's going to be quite even for the time. Except NC is getting attacked. NC cannot do anything because they need to defend. They need to defend that base, and they need now to defend that one. It's going really fast. It's really hard to keep in mind everything that's going on. However, you can see that NC are not in a good position. And if I was VS and TR, that's what I would do. I would attack NC. They are getting too many points, and the match might end too soon if they keep at least 3 bases. So VS is attacking the F base, and they are going to capture it without a contest. And that's probably somewhat fine for TR because VS is the last. They have only 250 points. It's quite far. Like they're only halfway through to win. They probably don't care about TR doesn't care probably right now about VS. They might need to care very soon, but right now they need to focus on capturing that E point. They probably should also focus on at I1, and they are, because all their population right now is here, but they might want to defend from VS right now because TR want to win, so they're focusing on NC, but VS is doing a good job at attacking TR in the back right now. Oh, that match is really tense. I really like it. NC is I don't know why those sites are not staying in the air until the TR is coming, but oh boy, it's very interesting. TR is managing a few bases, a few capture on the pop. This VS is maintaining a squad here, and that's a pretty good idea. And I need to check there. I think this is going to be more of a contest. I don't think TR is going to be able to manage to contest that point. VS might be able to win. Like they are third right now. They might be able to win because of all the bases they're competing right now. It goes really fast. They still have 250, but go. They are close to 300, and VS and NC is not going very, very high right now because of all the bases that are being captured, and they might lose even more. They have managed to recapture E, and then might be able to send reinforcement to I before it gets captured. TR is sending vehicles, and boy, that's not good. They are not defending C, which is bad. TR is in a pretty bad spot right now. I think VS is quite dominating on the bases, despite the fact that they are just letting TR and NC fight. It's quite good. NC is going to attack the D point. Oh, I'm not sure if that's what I would do in their spot. Of the match right now, it seems to me it's going quite fast, and there are lots of infantry play and Valkyrie drops. I'm seeing a lot more Valkyrie drops than I've seen on the other matches, but because I'm focusing a lot more on the fights and less on cinematics. We are seeing NC Rivers again trying to shoot at anything that isn't blue in the sky. The NC of the advantage here. Oh, and they have a lot of people. They are absolutely not trying to recapture F. I would focus on DS if I was them. It's not good to have well, they might only need to focus on TR. They need just a few bases. 3 bases should be enough for them to reach 500 before the VS, but that's a risky bet, especially if VS also focus on TR and they have captured C, and TR is focusing on C. That's a small capture. I don't think VS and C has a serious contest right now on the point. Oh, they have now. I don't think TR is going to be able to save D, and I don't think Uh-huh. Let's go on C point. I think C point is the most contested base right now. And what I'm saying that it seems that a few TR guys have managed to defend and at least sub the points for a few seconds. They might not all along once NC gets out of the buildings. Here, yeah, NC is recapturing the base, so it's quite interesting. The VS are, yes, they are doing a clutch. They are right now coming back from the dead and capturing all those bases and capturing a point. It's going to be really close. Look at VS. VS is already back on the second place. And look how fast they are gaining points. The NC has gained 30 points and they have gained 100. If they maintain that pace, the Soka Legion might be able to win. And they might as well do it because right now they have 6 bases. That's going really fast. Even if NC captured this one and TR captured that one, that was a lot of points generated really fast. And I don't think NC is going to be able to hold that for very long. If they manage to capture that base, boy, they are going to be only able to need to defend that one and that one. That would be a really strong position. They maintain, I don't know what they have on that base. I need to check that. See what do they maintain a strong squad on it so they never get captured, or do they have vehicles around? They don't seem to have very. Oh, they have a few people around it. Okay, and a few vehicles around. This is being secured, so they are not losing it. TR is recovering Rear C, which give them at least one base now. They had none for a long time. That's why they fall down to the third place. 58 points, 458 points. That's 42 left until the win, and you can see it's growing quite fast. I think NC won. I think NC is going to win. I think they have enough. They might lose that base to TR though, so we have to check that. If they lose it to TR, and it's not that going that great for TR from what I see, we can see, yeah, TR has the head advantage for, I think, the first time in a long time. I don't think VS is going to easily win. I think it's going to be really close for everyone. It's a really interesting match. It seems to be really close. The population management and the third way, the freeway system is going to be really interesting. TR is focusing on NC. That's probably what I should do instead. The VS, they're also attacking a bit VS, but that base, they're not committing a lot of people here. VS is defending here, so we don't care. And VS are also focusing on NC right now. That's what they should do. NC has the point advantage. They should have as less bases as possible for the sake of the two other teams. They are really close. They are 24 points from winning. If you... Oh, we're seeing the first orbital strike, I think, from the game. Oh, I mean, the first one on the base. Look at all the beacons, and they are not destroyed. We've seen a few people send up in the air by this, but I think VS is going to be able to manage to capture it. The population shift to have been shifting. NC, TR as sending a Valkyrie here. I'm not sure how many people there are inside, but their S-squad is on there. Is right next to the point. That's not a good drop. I think that's not how you drop. This look quite vehicle focused. However, NC is focusing Relic F, which is a good focus. However, look at the score. Look at the score. It's 12 points away, but they're not going to be able to do it to get 12 points if they cannot defend the I and the D points. Only one base is not going to. Oh, 9 points. That's so close. That's so close. I wish I had a screen and look both at the fight and at the. It's so close. NC has recaptured the high point. Come on, VS, you can do it. VS recaptured that one. I think that is one of the last base capture we're going to see. Those two captures have been captured. VS is 50 points ahead. NC is like 40 points ahead, but they have only one base now. It's only ticking score right now. I don't think any base is going to get captured. Oh wait, never mind. F is going to be captured. The score is going to be ticking, and that one base, is going to be what matters right now. The VS is focusing all of their orbital strikes on it. Sadly, that's not going to work until they put people in the point. TR is... Oh, they shouldn't be doing that. They should be doing here. They are going here, but not enough people. 2 points. I think NC has 1. The next tick is going to bring 1 point, maybe 2. the next tick should be only 1, I think. If I understood this correctly. 9, 1 point, it's over. I don't think the NC can win, the VS can win, because right now it's over. You cannot capture the white base. It's over. Congratulations to the Voodoo Company who won really close, 20-point close. I think that's the closest match we've seen. Sadly, all the other matches are over. We've seen Bushido Wai win with 500 points on the on the on the gold match. On the silver match, Voodoo Company won, and Vanus Sovereignty Cats won in a match that seems somewhat close. Maybe the least close of all the matches on the bronze one. Why am I getting? Oh yeah, it's fine. It was a really fun one. I think it was the closest one I've seen so far. I only have watched 3, but that seems to be pretty close. I think if we watch the scores on all the matches, it's probably the closest one. If you know any of the leaders who played right now, I am more than willing to interview them. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But I would need for them to... why cannot move? Let's redeploy. I don't think they will be hearing me, but I'm not sure if they've been the most balanced so far. On the Miller, the bronze match was more balanced than the silver one, for sure. That was quite interesting. I'm not sure I will be able to interview anyone. That's a bit sad. If you have any of the VCO or the SKL or the 1T MY leader, tell them to come on the PSB TeamSpeak. If you don't have the IP, it's just by PSB. But if you can know how to contact them, please do so. I really want to interview them. It was a really interesting match. It was quite different from the one we've seen on Miller, I think. A lot more MBT used. I don't think that was a good thing, but a lot more MBT. We still actually we have one thing in common with the Miller bronze match is that the NC had the domination in the air. We've seen a lot more, however, domination coming and going. We've seen NC dominating for quite a long time. Then we've seen VS capturing a few bases and TR being absolutely crushed. TR coming back a bit from the dead and going back to 4 bases. And we've seen a lot more 1v1v1 thing. I don't know how to describe this. It's quite interesting. This is the closest points for sure. Like 2019 actually, point closed is probably the closest we've seen. So yeah, do you have any? What's your feeling on the game? What do you think about it? I'm going to try and see what's going on, what people thought about it. Only one crash. That's great. But that was just a nice match. It's 3 in the morning now for me, so if I don't have any interview, I don't think I don't think I'm going to stay for very long. I'm not going to go on the Archie stream. I think I'm not motivated enough for that. But again, congratulations. I think all 3 outfits had fun, which was at least the best thing we can do while playing this. The freeway system provide a really good way to create fights. The time capture and the fact that the bases are really close create for a really fun match. A lot less bottlenecks, creates for a lot more fights. So I think it's quite nice, and I think it's a really enjoyable gameplay. I wish I would play this more often, and I wish we had a way to fight it to play it on Jagger too. So the IP on the TeamSpeak is PSB. That's just that. You don't have to tap URL. The URL is PSB. So do not hesitate to come to me for that. I will switch him and interview him. So please. I'm not sure if that's a comeback though. Because NC was in the lead for like the medium first and medium part of the match, and they still managed to have enough bases to generate points. The comeback from VS was quite spectacular. They managed to capture a lot of bases for a long time, but not soon enough, and they didn't manage to neuter the NC, if that's the way I can say it. Uh, no, TS, TeamSpeak. I'm not on any Discord right now for vocal, and I think I'd rather be on TeamSpeak.
Insufficient permissions. Insufficient permissions. User joined your channel.
Hello.
So are you from VCO?
Yes, I am. I'm one of the co-leads.
Oh, nice. So tell me, what did you think about the match? I've casted it. The VOD will be available. I hope my terrible French accent is not going to disgust any of you to watch the match back. But it was a lot of fun. It was the closest match I've seen. I've seen the Miller one, and I've seen the Soltec one, and this one has been the closest one so far. What did you think about it?
Is this live? Can I give my guys a link, or is this recorded?
It's on the PSB main channel, so the TeamSpeak, the Twitch channel. I'm going to paste you on.
Yeah, can you give me a link, please, so I can share to everyone?
But thank you for coming here. I did not thought I was I will have yeah. I'm going to make a full complete sentences at some point. Don't worry. I did not thought I had someone to interview, so it's nice to have you here.
Yep, I'm back. How you doing? Yeah, it's great to be here.
It's 3 in the morning, so I'm pretty hooked up right now. I'm on adrenaline and fun to cast this with energy. It was a lot of fun for me to watch. What did you think about the match?
The match, we weren't too sure how prepped the other team were going to be. A lot of individuals weren't able to sort of check out Desolation and get experience what the meta is going to be. Is it a lot of construction, a lot of air, a lot of armor? For us, for VCO, we primarily do a lot of airborne redeploy side with infantry side. So, and that was my impression when I did some of the beta testing and some of the practice on Desolation. So that was my feeling on what was going to be the meta, at least for this round.
Okay. So we've seen you dominating a lot on the air, and we've seen you with a lot less MBTs on the ground than TR and VS. Do you think that had a positive effect or not? As I know that on the Miller Bronze that I've streamed, it was about the same. The leading outfit managed to win with more infantry, harassers, and ESFs. Do you think it's strong?
So my impression was two front for the main battle tanks. There was some debates on how useful it's going to be. I think the map is just too big and the points are too enclosed for them to have any value. Sure, you can control the outside of the base and in some of the outside relics, you can kind of hit the center of it if you're up the hill. But for the most part, once the infantry touch the point and they stay in the what we call the donut building in the inner balcony or just away from where the enemy armor could be shelling you, the armor is completely useless. And I felt the armor is too slow in this map. That's why the only armor we had was just harassers. Harassers taking on enemy sunnies, taking on enemy armors, and we did a little AA with the enemy harassers, with our friendly harassers. Construction was another thing. Same thing with the main battle tanks is it could have made some use, and that's why I told my guys not to focus too much on construction because we would not be able to build anything if they pulled too much armor, which they did, and we mostly ignore construction, except for routers per squad.
Okay, second question, and I think that's what your match have shown the most of out of all the one I've seen so far. There was a lot of comeback from especially VS capturing a lot of bases and getting really close to you in points. What do you think of that 1v1v1 system, which creates a lot of your match created a lot of comeback and factions dominating and then not dominating and getting focused. What did you feel about that, and how did you feel when VS captured all those bases and they were catching up to you on score, going from the third place to the second one and getting 19 points in the end, close to you?
So yeah, I was a little concerned initially if I wanted to be at the head of the start because originally I knew that team, whoever was going to be head, is going to get double teamed. And when they took their time touching A, and I think it's like F on the TR side, they barely touched. They didn't. They took at least extra 1 or 2 minutes touching the points. So at that point, I felt they were going a little too slow, and I was like, you know what? We'll go on a lead and we'll stay on the lead. we tried to make sure that second place or third place caught up a bit. So when the VS was too much ahead, we focused on the VS so the TR can catch up. And then when the TR was ahead, we focused on the TR so the VS can catch up. Near the tail end of that match, we started getting a double team, and I started focusing less on the TR front, just to give an opportunity for the TR to catch up against the VS. The VS did a very good job capturing those two center bases, G and I, and keep this pressure on that other center base we had. So it made it difficult for us to sort of keep second, third place neck to neck. But by then I did the math. I knew we were gonna win with just two bases. So I was like, GG, you guys.
All right, so you did the math. You actually because I was looking at the score and I was like, are they going to be able to do it? Because at some point in the end, you only had one base, and I was like, is it going to be enough or not? But it's true that the VS was pretty far back when they captured all those bases, so it was still going to take a lot of time for them to catch up. I don't
Yeah,
know. Have you
my
watched the?
strategy would.
Go
Oh,
for it. Go
sorry.
for it. No, go for it.
I was gonna say my strategy would have been different if we were not near 500. Because usually, if you saw my guys, I usually split them up, a squad each base, and then force those other platoons to split up. If they're not able to, we just able to get it. We just traded a base +1. Like I said, we're close to 500. I knew we were gonna win even with just one base, so I made sure that we just hunker down on one base and make sure we secure. I think that's whatever's on our right side. I'm sorry, on our left side, and make sure we secure it. If it wasn't that close, I would have split up our guys, and the VS wouldn't have that many bases. So I was doing the math just to make sure I wasn't going insane.
Okay. That's interesting to hear. I don't think I've heard anyone in the leaders in the interview say that they did the math and figuring out how many points did they had. We had a match with it was only TR getting in the lead and then getting focused, and NC then getting a lead and winning. We've seen matches where some outfits are double teaming voluntarily and teaming up just to capture to win against Stackfit. What do you think about the impact on the community of the match, be it the qualifying system and the matches where generally the top spots are filled with either Stackfit or Zergfit? Not sure if my question is clear.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that with other servers. I mean, I was a little concerned about the. Originally, I was like, it was originally we weren't sure we were going to be silver or gold. That was my concern with gold. Like, if there's accusations of stacking, as far as I'm aware, I didn't see too much of that in Emerald. I think that's more of an issue in another server. I think it does hurt sort of the idea of getting outfits to group together, have sort of a nice competitive event, get some of these casual outfits that are not too used to Jaeger, to Smash, to sort of these organized events that PSB hosts as often, to sort of bridge the gap and say, here's this nice light competitive event on live. It's called Outfit Wars. Once you guys feel comfortable, now you could do more organized events outside Jaeger, like Community Smash, Bash and Smash, stuff like that. So it does kind of hurt that individuals feel that you need to stack an outfit and dominate a match, just for shits and giggles.
I think a bit differently because I think some outfits, like on Miller, we had outfits who had to band together and create a stack fit if they wanted to qualify, but that's probably complicated, and I think it's depending a lot of each server community. Do you think the three-way system is a good competitive setup, or is it just a good way to create a dynamic fight, but not necessarily to create a good competitive map?
I think it's, as you saw in that match, I think it's a good way to create a bit of dynamic where it becomes self-balancing. If there's a particular outfit that's doing better than the other two outfits, they can sort of band together into double team on it. Now that does mean that because it's a three-way, I remember encountering this in Faction Smash, is that the better outfit may not win. So it really depends on the goal. So if you do three ways, it's pretty dynamic, but the downside is that the better outfit may not win the match. So it really depends on the goal. I do like the idea of 1v1s or tournament styles. I wish they'd get away with the silly preparation and farming, but as it is, it was pretty enjoyable.
Okay, yeah, that's what I saw from the two matches I casted. It looks pretty fun to me because it was a lot of the dynamic facts of people dropping and counter dropping and defending with a lot of bases close by. I think it's creating a lot of dynamic gameplay that is seems really fun to play, and I've been quite confused to try and play that. Sadly, it was much more interesting to cast too, so I will see if I can get on that at some point. Did you let me think of a question. I don't know. Are you hyped to participate again in the next season? And we don't know when it's going to be, but it's most likely going to be maybe in a month. Are you hyped for it? Are you going to prepare in some way for it?
I, I like the match itself. I don't like the preparation phase. I hopefully they don't do that again, where it requires outfits to ghost cap continents.
Yeah.
Exploit, find
Did,
ways
did
to
you have to
farm
ghost cap
XP.
and stuff like that to
Uh,
get qualified?
I mean, there's certain individual outfits that played extra hours, that led multiple platoons, throughout 6 8 hours. But for the most part, I didn't do that personally for the most part, and a lot of our guys didn't. Our outfit, we played the objective. We captured a lot of bases often in our during our live play when we do ops. So we're kind of used to with the rule set it has. So we didn't have to change much of how we played. So we didn't have to do any extraordinary things to get to silver. And I told my guys that don't make the game unfun for you by just constantly farming, ghost capping continents, exploiting whatever, just to get in a match, because that's not fun and it's not worth playing. As long as we're in the top 3 and we're able to participate in Outfit Wars and Desolation, that's good enough for me.
All right, that seems like pretty logical and fair-minded statement. Do you have anything else to say? I'm not seeing any question on chat, so if you have words, I think you might want to go and celebrate with your outfit mates.
Thank you for hosting this interview and streaming the match.
Oh, that's no problem. I was happy to stay late and stream the match because I know my nobody was going to stream it, and lots of streamers were going to stream the gold match. And I think it's really interesting for the community to have matches for the streams for the silver and bronze rank. I hope RPG is going to develop that a bit because we have a lot of people who are able to stream and have some experience commentating. They might not be with great setups. Like my setup for streaming is not that great. My English is not that great. But we have people who can stream them, and I hope we are going to see that a bit more in the coming seasons. So I was happy to do it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I noticed. I think Archie, some other people, because the gold match ended earlier, they went over to silver. So silver did get streamed near the
Oh,
leg,
cool.
and so
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
when the
So
matches are close, they last longer generally, so it's more fun to play, and it's generally allowed to catch up a bit with the other matches. It's a bit sad that we cannot see all the matches at the once one after the other. It's probably for the better because knowing some players, they might be able to, if the matches are played one day after another, to have some players from certain matches play in other outfits for the next matches. So there's a lot to figure out in how to make it a good event because I think a lot of people would like to watch all the matches. However, with VODs, I think we'll be able to see all the matches. Maybe not the bronze match, but at least we might have some POV from players. Let's see. And
yeah, we had some one or two streamers and a couple guys recorded the match, so we'll be posting our stuff through our YouTube
oh,
channel,
cool.
or everything's through our website, voodooship.net. I do like the idea. I think Archie mentioned when I interviewed a while back about the idea of cascading the time slots. So gold, silver, and bronze are in different time slots. So if streamers want to do all the matches, they can showcase all the matches, because even the outfits that really went hard into gold, there are still outfits that actually did their worst of trying to get to silver and bronze, and it's nice to sort of give them some attention. So I'm glad to see that you gave us some attention. Some of the other guys also came up with silver once gold was over, so we do appreciate that, and
But
it showed them a more competitive match that silver was.
you can thanks PSB for giving me handing me in Matt the upscam and of course RPG for allowing us to be able to join the Desolation server map because it's not possible from the regular ops camp. So we can thank all those people for allowing that to happen. And do not hesitate to tell you guys who thanks PSB maybe on Twitter. It might they might look at that if a few people say, hey, that dude streamed the silver match. It was great. We like that. We want to see more of that. I think that might work. But if there is any way you can provide feedback for PSB that way, do not hesitate to go for it, because that's I think how they work out now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the one of the PSV OVO Discord, so I'll give them a hug and a heart in a moment. I know the
They are on the Twitch chat right now, and they're thinking.
they are.
So no problem, guy. I enjoyed that.
I see Osprey. There he goes.
All right.
Love you too.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you again, and hopefully you don't have to stream anymore, so you can get some sleep. I know it's pretty late over there. Oh God. All right, you have a nice evening.
User disconnected from your channel. Muted.
All right, I'm going to stop here. It's quite late for me. It's like 3 in the morning. So thank you all for showing up for the stream. You were quite quiet, not a lot of questions, but at least you were here. So we are Moti. You can thank PSB and RPG for this stream to be possible. And I hope I will see you on another stream at some point, or maybe in game.